about 6 o'clock. I don't know what this piece of hair is doing right here. And I am home. I am getting home much later than what I anticipated. It's frustrating, but it is what it is. So I had 2 makeup conferences after school, but right after school, we got a little bit of an update on this universal access class period. As of right now, it looks like the district is still going ahead with creating classes in these homogeneous groups. I can't even tell you guys how frustrated I am by that. When I say frustrated, like I tell people quite frequently, I don't really cry out of sadness. Like, things that frustrate me a great deal are the things that would make me cry. And I'm so frustrated by this that I feel like I could cry about it, because I just honestly don't feel like this is what's best for my kids. And I'm now gonna lose out on time that I have to spend with my kids and working with them in a way that I think is beneficial to all of us. And so I'm just really frustrated. And so we got that piece of information after school, and the way that the message was conveyed wasn't necessarily my favorite, wasn't what I loved. So we'll see when all of this happens and if anything changes in that regard, but I'm frustrated. I do not think it is good for students, especially in large mass. Like, I understand pulling a group of kids that are functioning at the same level and pulling them in a small group. That I get when you're doing it for a very brief period of time. But to have a whole class, like my first year, I had a class of 30-something kids who were struggling a whole lot with reading. And at that point in their educational journey had become, to some degree, some of them were intentional non-learners. Like, they had just disassociated themselves from school altogether, just felt like, I don't do school. And so now that they've become a behavior issue in some situation, like, nothing productive really came from that class. I didn't feel effective. It just was terrible. And it's not good for kids. So I just am frustrated that this is the decision that's being made currently. And so we talked about that briefly after school, me and a few other teachers who are just as equally bothered and frustrated by it. And I think what I feel like right now is like there's just a complete disregard for what we're saying. Like, I don't feel like we're being heard, and that really frustrates me. And that's really not the norm for the district I work in. Like, I don't typically feel this way, but this time I do feel that way. And then after we vented on that for a good 15 minutes, I had 2 makeup conferences with 2 different sets of parents. And then after that, what did I do? Taylor and I had to fill out some paperwork, and then we vented some more. And then before you know it, it was after 5:30. So here I am at home, and I'm going downstairs right now because I have to cook. I don't want to cook. I don't feel like cooking, but I actually have to cook, because if I don't cook today, I won't have lunch for tomorrow, and I won't have leftovers tomorrow, and I need leftovers on Tuesdays and Thursdays because I go to Orange Theory. So I'm really trying to be better about, I feel like I've been saying this since August, trying to just lock down a schedule that works for me, because my workout schedule has kind of changed this year. Because, let me put you guys on these paper towels, because I've been taking this Tuesday and Thursday class at Orange Theory. Sorry that the lighting is dark. What is this? This Tuesday and Thursday class at Orange Theory, that is from 5:30 to 6:30. And when I come home, like, I'm really just physically wiped out. I'm tired, and my body just needs to sit itself down. And so I don't wake up early and work out in the mornings on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But I've also realized that when I take those 5:30 classes at Orange Theory on Tuesday and Thursday evenings, come 5 o'clock the next morning, my body is not ready to spin. Like, it just can't. I've done it a couple times, and my performance on those classes has been terrible. So then I said, well, maybe you are gonna now shift to doing your workouts after work, which is what I'm trying to do. And what I'm learning is, like, it's frustrating to do it after work because you can never predict how your day is gonna go. And I've always said that, but I don't wanna give up my Orange Theory classes. So we're really in a predicament. I need to just be better about just being very timely about getting out. of work. And sometimes I can't avoid that with meetings, but today I could have done better, but I didn't. So here I am at 6:17, getting ready to cook, frustrated with myself. I still have to work out. I still have to possibly edit. The teaching day went fine. Let me put you guys down because my arm is hurting. In my in my leadership class, the kids that are in charge of the rally re-presented so that we can kind of see their edited presentation slides, and we gave them some more feedback. They realized they needed to practice a little bit more. I think I got some footage of that. And then in my homeroom class with history, we looked at the Declaration of Independence and just read a simplified version of it that puts in a very plain speak. My first year teaching, I did this whole breakup scenario with the breakup letters and involved the assistant principal. I just didn't have time to get that all planned out this year. And I know the assistant principals don't have the time to do that this year with all the contact tracing. So we just read the simplified version of the Declaration of Independence. And then we looked at a video on it was titled The Duality of Thomas Jefferson. And we read a very brief passage from Stamped on Thomas Jefferson so that they could see this man, Thomas Jefferson, is one of the writers of the Declaration of Independence, where they're saying all men are created equal and everybody has the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But we also know that over the course of his lifetime, he owned 600 slaves and had children that were slaves. And so how can a man propose this idea that all men are created equal and be enslaving people? But that he also thought that he was a nice slave owner because, you know, he was nice to his slaves and freed some of them and thought they should be freed. But we also clarified that what he meant by emancipation was that he thought the slaves should go away, that there should not be like a multiracial society. So we just talked about the fact that when we say someone has duality, that there's two sides to what and who they are. And sometimes one part of them contradicts the other, as was the case with Thomas Jefferson. So we looked at that, and then in language arts, we're looking at plot elements, which is the skill lesson that goes with sorry, wrong number. So we watched a vocabulary video and did a read and respond. And I will try and show that to you tomorrow because my switch class is slightly behind. And so they just finished up the peeling the fruit activity. So that happened. And then the other thing that happened in my switch class is my kids, like, I have this student that has asked me for the past few days, like, if I'm okay, but like is really concerned. Like the way he's asking, I know he's concerned. And I had a sense as to why he was asking, because I know I have students that follow me on Instagram. And then at some point in the class, we were talking about how some of them saw my post on Saturday, I think it was, or Sunday, where the gist of it was like, I just feel like exhausted, defeated, like I'm inadequate, like I'm not doing enough. And they were like, we were really worried about you, like you were depressed. And I said, no, like the thing is, if you guys are my students and you follow me on Instagram, what's nice about it is that you get to see that, yes, I'm a teacher, but I'm also a person. So you'll see me as a teacher sometimes in the post. You'll see me as a sister, as a friend, as a daughter. And I said, in teaching, I like it, but it's tough and it's hard work. And so sometimes you have good days and sometimes you don't. And sometimes you feel like you got everything under control and sometimes you don't. And so I know for some teachers, the concern is their students finding them on social media, but it's moments like this where I like it because it allows them to see that I'm a person and that I have bad days too and that I have ups and downs too, but I still like persevere through it. So I just thought that was kind of cute because they really did seem concerned. And I had to assure them that I wasn't depressed. So that's all I can say. I'm gonna cook right now. I'll show you what I'm gonna cook, but I probably won't vlog it because vlogging while I cook slows me down. But I'm making beef patties over romaine and cucumber salad with roasted shallot and tomato and a creamy lemon basil caper sauce with dill and almonds. It should take me 30 minutes. That's what it looks like. So I'm gonna do that. And while I do that, I'm gonna watch Blackish and just go about the rest of my evening. So that's all I have to say today. If you enjoyed today's vlog, please give this video a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. And if you're not following me on Instagram, please head over there and follow me at Smarty Style. And as always, I hope that you guys are well. And if you're not well, please be well. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Good evening.